Welcome to another edition of the Noles Podcast. I am your host, Gregory McCoy. This podcast is by a fan, for fans. I am not a journalist. I am not a reporter. I am not an insider. I do not work for a website. The majority of my content comes from me, in my opinion. Other information comes from the internet. Today is February 19th, 2020. And I got about 5 different segments here for this episode. I hope you enjoy it. First segment is entitled Linebacker is a Position of Strength. New linebackers coach Chris Marv, young guy, only 30 years old. He comes in, he takes over. He's pretty, He's pretty highly coveted as a linebackers coach. I don't know anything about the guy. When he coached linebackers at Memphis, he didn't exactly, those guys didn't exactly set the world on fire. But, let's see here. Current linebackers on the roster, we got DeKalen Brooks, we got Kalen DeLoach, let's see, Amari Gaynor, Emmett Rice, Kayvon Glenn, I don't think Lars Woodby is going to be playing linebacker anymore. Jaleel McCray. Leonard Warner. And let's look at the freshmen. And just while I'm looking this up, I had predicted, I don't know if I said it on my podcast here, but I had predicted that Denny Hamlin was going to win the Daytona 500. Those last 2 laps was crazy. Like I said, I just got into NASCAR a couple years ago. But I hope Newman's all good, man. That was a heck of a crash. He very lucky he's still alive. But looking at some of the recruits that's coming in at linebacker, excuse me if I'm saying his name wrong, Jayan McCluster, Steven Dix, that's all I see, man. Steven Dix, Jayan McCluster. I thought it was more than that. DJ Lundy. I think DJ Lundy is a linebacker. But at any rate, linebacker is a position of strength now. I think we got more athletes at that position. I think the starters are going to be Emmett Rice, Jaleel McCray, and Amari Gaynor. I think Kayvon Glenn and Kalen DeLoach are going to play, and I think these 3 freshmen are going to play. We got more athletic. Hopefully they play with a little bit more sense of smarts than some of the guys that have left. And hopefully our defensive coordinator can put these guys in a position to succeed, because I feel like the last defensive coordinator did not do that, especially in the Florida game. You had Adonis Thomas dropping back in coverage like he's Isaiah Simmons, and he's not that. So just better athletes and hopefully better scheme will lead to better results on the field. So that's going to conclude that segment. Let me know what you think about it. Linebacker is a position of strength now. Let me know your opinion on that. Matt Fryer. Noles, he falls in this category. Noles not celebrated enough. And I'm reading some information on the internet about him. Everybody knows his most memorable catch was against Miami, game winner. It was a 72-yard catch and run. This was after having 2 wide rights against Miami the previous 2 years, and we finally got that play and won the game. And then he's talking about the 1993 championship team, which he was a part of. This guy had hands like glue. He wasn't the fastest guy in the world, but on that Miami play, you couldn't tell, man. He ran great routes. Just to me, one of the more memorable receivers of all time, man. He stayed there 5 years. 5'11", basically 195. So pretty big guy. Played split end. Career numbers, let's see. They don't even show his numbers, man. He became a starter in 93, played in all 13 games. Career stats was nothing to write home about, but I think he was just more like a blanket for Charlie Ward. Looks like his best game was against the Florida Gators. In 1993, he had 11 catches for 126 yards. He didn't have any touchdowns, but more importantly, he was just he always was going to be in the right place at the right time. And I'm just surprised he didn't get a look as far as the pros, man, because he was kind of like the kid from Clemson. I can't think of his name, but that's who the kid from Clemson reminded me of, who stayed there like forever. He was a part of that first championship that Dabo won against Alabama. I think he caught the game winner. I can't think of that guy's name, man. I mean, nothing to sneeze at either, man. In high school, 220 receptions, 3,688 yards, and 41 touchdowns. This guy was a player, man. I just wish, the pundits and all these, people that be on the internet and on websites would talk about, Florida State players from the past, man. And so we can appreciate these guys. So that's going to conclude that segment. Let me know what you think about Matt Fryer. Next, I'm going to switch over to the WWE. And, I want to see John Morrison versus Dolph Ziggler. To me, these are two of the best wrestlers of my generation. And I've seen a couple of things where they've been trying to slowly promote it, man. I know you got to hype it up and you got to build the fan stuff up, man. But this match got to happen, man. It's got to happen. To me, Shawn Michaels was probably the greatest athlete. Well, I don't want to disrespect nobody. He's one of the greatest athletes to come through the ring. And these guys remind me of him a little bit. Each of them have some Shawn Michaels type traits. And I would just love to see this match. To me, it doesn't even have to be for the title. But I guess to make it even more prestigious, you probably would make it for the title. Like I said, I'm into WWE, boxing, MMA, NASCAR, baseball, not just the main sports in this country. So I'm going to talk a little bit about everything on this podcast. So let me know what you think about professional wrestling in this particular match, if you like professional wrestling. Next, I'm going to switch over, and I do talk about technology a little bit. Let me know what you think about that previous segment. The next segment is entitled "No More iPhone Upgrades for Me." iPhone is a ripoff, man. This latest upgrade that I got, I feel like I got duped. I'm just gonna be honest with you, because to me it's virtually the same software, just in a different skeleton with a little bit more fancier camera. It's basically what it is. So this right here, I'm gonna keep until the iPhone 20 come out. I'm not even gonna. You gonna have to literally force me to upgrade the next time it's time to upgrade. I'm not gonna do it anymore, because it's a ripoff. You come out with a new phone every year, and I go and look at it, and it's virtually the same phone. Just the camera is a little bit better. That's really it. And what they'll probably do is throttle your internet and basically force you to upgrade. That's what they'll do, because they're gonna hype up the 5G thing. Well, this phone has 5G and your phone only has 4G. You're gonna get way faster internet. That's what they're gonna do to you. So it's all a game, man. And really, I'm getting to a point where I don't even want a cell phone no more, because all it is a distraction. That's really all it is. I mean, it's like as soon as you wake up, that's the first thing you grab. I mean, and you just literally just looking at nothing. Whether it's just looking at sports. I mean, I couldn't even imagine having this as like a kid and having this much access to stuff. It kind of takes away from the mythology of sports, and because I just feel like I got way too much information that I never had as a kid. I would have to go read like literally 3 or 4 magazines to get some of the stuff that you still would be out of date. I remember I used to go get Street and Smith's, Athlon, all those magazines, man, to keep up with my boys, Florida State. Now, touch of a button, I can pretty much get anything I want. So, let me know what you think about that segment. I know some of you guys probably use Androids, which I have nothing against them. I was an Android guy. I love them, especially the Google Pixel. I think that phone is very hot. So let me know what you think about that last segment. And I've done this segment a couple times, and I'm going to keep doing it, man, until hopefully somebody at Florida State hears it. Please say no to multiple uniform combinations. I can't stress this enough, man. Can we please burn all the black uniforms? Can we please burn all the black, gold, and white, and garnet uniforms. The all white is okay. The all garnet is okay. All right. And if you want to mix those along with the gold pants and all, I'm cool with those. But the other stuff, come on, man. And I wouldn't mind doing something new, all white, if it's tastefully done. But the other stuff that Norvell was saying, like when we were at Memphis, we never wore the same uniform combination twice. Come on, that's not Florida State. We want to stick with tradition, please. All right, that's gonna conclude this episode. Let me know what you think about the last segment. I hope you enjoyed it. It's available on YouTube. It's available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify Podcasts. And thank you to the people that listen on a daily basis. I really appreciate your support. And as always, go Noles.